Hold the level, Kron. Your paper's right there.
What's up everyone, it's Ryan here, and I haven't done a video where there's been another person with me in a while, so this is my bestie. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Michelle.
And we're gonna be doing a interview kind of thing, Q&A. So I asked some of you guys to send me questions that you would want her to answer related to my transition. So I'm gonna be doing some of those I got written down, and if I think of any on my own, I'm just gonna ask her. First one, was it difficult to use different pronouns like he and him when I first came out?
Not at all. Like, I felt uncomfortable with other people because other people were struggling with the pronoun thing. But for me, it was, I don't know, it just wasn't anything. Like, it just automatically came out like, oh, he's my best friend, blah, blah.
Do you remember when I first came out and what your reaction was?
Well, when you first came out, it wasn't even directly towards me. I had found out from your Twitter.
Yeah. Because
you had put like your letter to your teachers and stuff. And then I was like, oh, okay, so like this is actually happening. Because when the transition first started, you had still identified yourself as a girl. Like, you had just like gotten a pixie cut. So I didn't really think of it as anything when it happened.
Yeah, so I didn't even tell you directly.
No, you didn't.
I didn't say anything.
You didn't say anything.
Has my transition changed our relationship at all?
No. I don't know, like it's different. Like when we go shopping and stuff and like you and James are like looking at clothes, I'm just sitting there like,
when we're looking at guy clothes?
Yeah. Like I'm just sitting there like, because you guys are bonding like over stuff like that and we're not.
Oh, so like not looking at the same clothing?
Yeah, okay. That's pretty much it.
Out of all the changes that has happened to me since I started T, is there any one that's like your favorite or the one that surprised you the most?
The voice change.
The voice?
Yeah.
Is it deeper than you would have expected?
Way deeper.
Do you know?
I was thinking the hair.
My hair?
Like the body hair.
Oh,
the body hair.
Leg hair.
I was like, your hair's been like this for like 2 years now. It's been pretty short for a while.
3 years, yeah. You do comment on my leg hair a lot.
Because it's very dark and it's like really noticeable. Especially when it gets wet. When we went to the beach the other day, I was like, your hair is so black. It's so dark.
I mean, it's not like, I'm not ashamed of it or anything.
No, I wouldn't be either. It's just kind of funny, especially when you got the towel and you're like, look at what color it changes to when I dry it.
Because it dries really fast. How did you tell others about me, like who didn't already know? So like your family?
I was just like, oh, do you remember my friend? And they were like, yeah, she was in your quinceañera, blah, blah, blah. You guys have been friends for a long time. So I just went out and told them, you know, she is now a he. So when he comes over, just say he is Ryan. That's who he is. I didn't like want to like beat around the bush or anything to make them feel uncomfortable. And I mean, everyone's really accepting about it.
No one said anything?
Not really. I mean, they still treat you like family.
I feel like I started to transition really slowly to the point where it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yeah, where it wasn't abrupt.
It's only until like I came back from college, like with all the testosterone changes, where people were like, oh,
yeah,
wow.
And then all the girls were like,
no.
Yes, do you know like how many people comment on your videos and stuff and they're like, you're so hot, blah, 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 I love you.
What did you think of my first haircut? The Justin Bieber thing I had going on.
The Justin Bieber thing you had going on?
It was like kind of long and it had like the little swoop.
Well, I mean, you had a wig like that, so it wasn't even... It was just brown instead of the black wig that you had. So I had already seen you with that hairstyle.
But did you like it?
You look like Justin Bieber. So yeah, I liked it.
Did you really think about like trans and like stuff like that?
Oh, so did you know about it before?
I definitely did know about it because I mean, obviously you aren't the first person to transition. But I didn't know as much about it
Did
before
you do-
you.
Did you do like research afterwards?
Yeah, I definitely did research, and then like watching your videos helped too. That way I felt included even though I wasn't there.
I'm sorry. Oh, that makes me feel bad.
No, don't feel bad. I mean, like, your transition was like completely for you, but you got any more questions?
Did you personally have seen any hints since you've known me? Because we've met in 6th grade and we've been best friends since 6th grade. So from that point forward, did you see hints that I would in the future be transgender?
Well, I mean, you like to dress up as a guy, like.
Every Halloween, I had one costume, and it was just a regular boy. Just a regular boy, that was my costume, and I had a specific name, and it was Danny. And every Halloween, Danny would come along and just be a guy. That was it. That was just my costume.
That, and then there was the one time where I had spent the night, or no, I think it was 2 times. I had spent the night, and you went to sleep in men's clothes and like a hat. And
we took a picture. You took a picture.
Yeah,
of us in the mirror, and people
picture.
were like, "You were like my new boyfriend."
And everyone was like, "Oh my God, he's so cute! Congratulations!"
Hey, y'all want some food?
Yeah. Bring on the comida.
She has to cook it first.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we're fine.
Well, because you pretty much called out everything that's happened in my life.
I did.
Because in middle school, that's when I had my first girl crush. And you knew it.
Yeah.
But I was in denial.
Uh-huh.
And I remember you coming up to me and you asking me like, do you like her? And I was like, what?
You were like, how could you even ask me that? And I was like, it's just a question. I just wanted to know if you liked her.
I was so in denial. And then freshman year comes along and I get my first girlfriend.
And like you called me to tell me that you had a girlfriend. Or that like at that time like
that I was talking to a girl.
Yeah, that you were talking to a girl. And I had already known.
How did you know?
I told you on the phone too. You were like, so I have something to tell you. And then you started crying and I was like, what's going on? And you were like, I have a girlfriend. And then I asked who it was and you were like, how did you know? And I was like, because I already knew like you guys were hanging out. I kind of figured there was something there. I was like, I'm not as dumb as I look.
So that was when I first came out about my sexuality. And then I started dressing more masculine. So I didn't get my hair cut till I was like end of sophomore year, beginning of junior year. And before that happened, you came up to me and I was at your house. We were in your living room and you were like, so are you gonna like cut your hair short? And I was like, I had my long hair. I was like, no.
I could never. I could never destroy this.
And then after that, shortly I cut my hair.
Yeah, that's when you got the pixie cut.
Or the JB swoop.
Yeah.
And after that, I still identified as a lesbian. And then you came up to me again, and you were like, so, are you gonna be like a guy? Are you gonna start being a guy? And I was like, no.
You were so adamant, like, about the situation. You were like, I'm not a guy. I'm not this. I'm not anything. Stop asking me questions.
I was just so in denial about my whole life and existence, pretty much. Aww. You knew me before I even knew myself.
That's right. I take all the credit.
You take all the credit. Was there ever anything that you wanted to ask me, but you were too scared to ask me?
I do have a question, but it's for now.
Like you have a question you want to ask me right now?
Yeah.
Ask me. It was the perfect time.
Do you identify as like straight now? Like you're like a straight male? Like you're only interested in women?
That's actually a kind of a complicated thing. Because yeah, typically I find myself attracted to women. But I think it's possible like someday in the future I could be attracted to a man. Like I feel like my sexuality is kind of open. I don't really want to be attracted to someone's genitals, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like I would fall for the person rather than what their body looks like. Just as I would hope someone would do the same for me, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm a different situation. You gotta really think about it, you know, and it's understandable why. Oh, you thought of
she made questions.
Okay. No looking.
Oh my god.
So we got 2 more questions here. Did my transition affect our friendship, like bring us closer?
I think it brought us closer.
Yeah?
Yeah, I feel like it did.
Like why?
I don't know, because maybe now you're your true self.
I don't know if I act more myself. I feel like I'm maybe just more comfortable.
Yeah, that's probably it. The fact that you're more comfortable, so it makes me more comfortable.
What did you expect to come out of my transition, if anything?
I guess because you do know a lot of people. So for me personally, I was just hoping that it would make people more accepting of trans people in the trans community, because you are my best friend. So I do feel very protective, especially if I'm like out somewhere and someone makes a comment like, oh, can you believe that woman dressed as a man, or that man dressed as a woman? And I get so irritated. It takes everything out of me to not say something. There's some people there that just, they don't understand and they don't want to. That's the problem, is that they don't want to understand.
My mouth tastes like goldfish crackers.
Same.
You didn't even have any. Why are you smacking your lips?
I was trying to determine what mine tasted like.
Oh.
Saliva. These are real. They're all real.
Basically, you'd be considered an ally of the
Okay.
LGBT community.
Okay.
So do you have any advice for someone else who is friends with a person who is trans, and how they should support them and what they should do?
I think my advice would be to not be afraid to ask questions. They're your friend. Treat them the same. Nothing's gonna change about your relationship. If you guys are that close, it's gonna stay like that. They're still the exact same person. Everybody crack.
Everybody let loose.
I can crack my ankles.
Okay.
Yeah. Ew, does that hurt?
No, I can do this one too.
Where?
Or well, you'll probably feel it on this one better. So put like your finger right there.
Okay. Well, I guess that concludes those questions.
Okay.
And if we get any more after this video in the comments, you probably do a part 2.
Oh, part 2.
So that concludes the end of the video. If you liked anything that you heard or saw, please be sure to give a thumbs up, and also subscribe if you haven't already. That'd be greatly appreciated. And you could also follow me on my social media. Do you want your social media on there?
Do I want my social media on there?
Yeah, in the description. Well, her social media might be in the description.
Maybe. I don't know, you just have to find out. Wait for part 2.
Thank you for answering questions.
Thank you for asking me questions.
Hope you all have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time.
My grandma swears she had weed candy the other day. She gave us some.
I'm sure you're gonna hear it in the video because it started happening.
What? They started having sex during
No,
the
no,
video?
no, the kids.
Oh.